Yo, what up, Wolfpack? This is Blind Wolf, and we back at it again. I'd like to thank everybody that like, share, comment, and subscribe to my videos. I truly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. All right, Wolfpack, we're gonna get into this Wolfpack journey again of my prison stories and life stories. Because this is not just about being in prison. I've been blind longer on the street than I was in prison. So these things are gonna kind of like skip all around. They're gonna skip. Man, my life been crazy since this happened. But we're gonna talk about when I started having nightmares while I was in prison behind losing my eyesight. Well, this is like around the end of October, beginning of November 2007. I'm still over the pen. You know, I've been waiting to get back over there to the eye doctor because I was scheduled for another appointment by this time. And I don't know what's going on. I just know that they told me in a couple weeks they need to see me again. And it be seeming like these couple weeks is lasting a really long time. So I finally gets over there and they doing all of these different checks on my eyes. And, you know, they telling me that they really need to get me in for surgery. And they wanted to schedule, you know, a surgery with the prison for me. So once again, I got to go back over to the penitentiary and wait for all of this stuff to happen. And mind you, I'm not getting the full details on what's going on with me in my life. So a couple weeks go by, I don't hear anything. A couple more weeks go by, I still don't hear nothing. So now I'm starting to get a little bit more nervous. You know, my vision is starting to deteriorate. And then mind you, you gotta think I'm in a penitentiary, so the lighting is not the best lighting in the world. But all in the same token, I can't look up at light either because it hurts my eyes. Um, just say for instance, I'm in a room and the light is really dim. Everything looks really dark. But if I'm in a room where the light is really bright, it's like I'm walking in a white cloud. Everything is really foggy, but really, really, really blinding white, which makes it extremely hard to see. And everyone in both situations look like just shadows to me now. Like I'm getting to the point where I'm not even able to really recognize people like that sometimes. My vision goes in and out and it's weird because some days I'll be able to see good, well, for the condition that I have at the time. And then some days are just, I can't see my hand in front of my face and I still got to move around. And I'm waiting for these people to get me back over here so that I can get this surgery done. And I'm praying in my head, like, God, please help me to get over here so that I can get this surgery done because I don't want to lose the rest of my eyesight. I'm starting to have all kinds of thoughts in my head. I want to see my little girl go down the aisle. I want to see my grandchildren. I want to see my children when they grown. Like all of these thoughts are running through my mind. How am I gonna live when I get back out here on these streets if I'm not able to see? How am I gonna be able to survive in the penitentiary if I'm not able to see? Like all of this stuff is starting to play a real trippy game with my brain. And like I said, the weeks are just going by and by and by. And my nervousness and paranoia is really starting to grow. So one night I go to sleep and I don't know, it felt like I woke up and it's like I was hearing everything that was going on in the penitentiary normal, but everything was just black. I couldn't see my cell buddy. I got up in my dream to cut the light on and I was unable to see the light and it just sent me into a frenzy. And the whole time I'm screaming for help, I'm screaming for help, and no one is hearing me. Convicts, inmates, they got their own stuff going on. They just think that I'm down there going crazy. So people ignoring me, some people laughing. And COs, when they see you kicking on the door and yelling and asking for help, a lot of the times they just totally ignore you. And like this is running through my brain and I'm starting to really like have cold sweats and I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out for real. And, sometimes I think about this stuff and I get to talking about this stuff, and this stuff get to be a little hard for me because I really had to live like this. I would wake up and it would be just completely black. I couldn't see anything. And then all of a sudden, I would wake up for real and I would open up my eyes and I would see, like, outside the cell, I would see what's on the floor, and I'd be thinking to myself, man, that was a crazy dream. But the whole time I'm sitting on my bunk and I'm thinking to myself, like, this could be a reality for me. I could really wake up in here like this. These people are not really caring about the fact that I need to get back and forth to these doctors. And they call that losing you in the system. Losing you in the system. The doctors can have these appointments scheduled for you and have all the best intentions of trying to help you as best as they can. And the penitentiary will do what they can to make this a much harder job just to be able to get you the medical treatment that they're already paid for. They already paid to get this um, individual from whatever institute to the hospital. But what happens? What happened to me? I go months and months and months without seeing the doctors. And as I'm going months and months and months without seeing the doctors, my vision is deteriorating more and more and more. And by the time I get back to the doctors, they want to do an emergency surgery. But the whole time, these things still had to be scheduled. They can't just do an emergency surgery just because I came in for another visit after I've already missed the surgery scheduled before. All of these things had to be rescheduled all over again, which is going to send me through this process all over again inside the penitentiary. And it did. They lost me in the system multiple times, making it harder and harder for me to be able to just get in front of a doctor to be able to help salvage the vision that I was left with. And over time, I lost so much eyesight, I couldn't do anything but just cry sometimes. Sometimes I didn't even leave them out myself. I would just sit in there and I would think to myself, this is the worst possible thing that could be happening to me. To be just sitting in here knowing that all I need to do is go to a doctor and I might be able to receive some treatment, get some medicine to help me. And these people have all the resources, all the ways in the world. They got transportation set up for them to do whatever they want to do, but won't get me back and forth to the doctor. This was killing me inside. This was making me really feel like life was not worth living. I'm already living in horrible, horrific uh, lifestyle. I'm in prison. I'm already in prison. That's bad enough. Trust me. But I couldn't even really think about being in prison because this was a way worse prison. I was sentenced to life with a disability. Life with a disability, not just, you know, 5, 10, 25 years, a life sentence with parole, life without parole, but you still got your eyesight and you able to maneuver and figure things out throughout life with a visual sense of everything. No, all of this stuff is being taken away from me, making me to have to walk around in dark. And that is a horrible, horrible condition, a horrible way to live, going through this on your own. I'm not even able to be with the ones that I thought loved me, to be able to, just have some compassion. Then you got a few dudes that may, look out for you here and there, but you can't really show that this stuff is breaking you up inside. You don't know who's going to use this stuff against you. I was in such a horrible, depressed state. and the nightmares just kept coming. It's like when it first started, I wasn't getting them every day. I started getting them like every couple weeks. And then those couple weeks started getting closer and closer and closer and closer to the point where sometimes I couldn't even go to sleep. Sometimes I wouldn't sleep because I was scared that when I woke up, I wouldn't be seeing anything. That's a very depressing way of living. And it's hard to stay up all the time because eventually you're going to pass out. And I would pass out sometimes and, sleep for a while. And then I would wake up nervous, like, and then I would see what I could see and, go forth with my day. But I had many, many, many nightmares in prison, waking up, just not being able to see anything and not being able to really get some help like that because the COs are definitely not going to make this a top priority. Some people, as far as inmates and convicts, might be walking around and they might, find it to be funny. You don't know who rock with you and who don't rock with you, who's waiting to see something detrimental happen to you or not. But I know that this is the lifestyle that I lived for quite some time. It was depressing. It was heartbreaking. But I am glad that I am out of there. I'm glad that I'm away from that lifestyle and I started to receive, a lot better medical treatment later on down the road. But this was something that I went through in the beginning stages of me losing my eyesight. It also sent me through a depression stage, a suicidal stage, a homicidal stage that was uncomparable to anything else that I've been through in life. I've been shot 7 times. I've been ran over by a van, like ran over. The van wheels came all the way up to my hips and rolled down my legs. Yeah, ran over. I've been stabbed 3 times. I've been banked at a party and had my jaw broke on both sides and never touched the ground, fought everybody until I got up out of there. I'd rather deal with all of that than to deal with this not being able to see what's going on in front of me and the thought of having to live the rest of my life just hearing what's going on around me. This is one of the hardest things in the world to have to become accustomed to. Don't make this your life. Don't make this your life going into no prison walls. And these are the obstacles and issues and situations that you have to deal with. Y'all know what I tell y'all. Remember them 5 P's. Proper planning prevents poor performance. When you properly plan for your life, you're going to perform better for your life. You're going to perform better for you. You going to do it. You don't have to worry about somebody else making the decisions for you. I had to worry about somebody else making decisions for me, and it messed me up forever. They say whatever you lose from glaucoma, medical science says there is no recovery. I have a very rare case of advanced glaucoma. This can happen to you. Cherish your freedom. Cherish your life. You don't have to go inside those walls. You can make a decision today that you matter and take that to the moon. Properly plan for your life. You only got that life to live. You only got that life to live. I like to ask everybody to go check my man Jay Hardcore and the Hardcore Boxing News out. He has a GoFundMe set up for me. Please help support this movement to help me to be able to get an attorney, a lawyer, to help me fight against inequality, against blind people, so that our voices can be heard. Once again, that's JBT, Hardcore Boxing News. Check my man Jay Hardcore out. Please drop a few dollars up in there for me. I really appreciate it, so that not only my life can begin again and get better than what it was before, because this has been a big stagnation, and I get past this, but it's also going to be able to help other visually impaired and blind people, because our voices are not heard. Please help us with this GoFundMe so that the voices of blind people can be heard. Big love, and that's coming from the Blind Wolf.